Okay, so that means if we summarize, meditation should be very simple. So your mind should be free also. When you are going to meditate, then you must relax totally. So your sitting posture must be more comfortable posture. But one more thing, don't grasp your knees, right? Grasping knees is not very polite according to Buddha teaching, right? So you sit comfortably. Mostly we recommend to sit keeping cross legs. One leg should be inside, one leg should be outside. Don't press two legs each other. Then keep body and head straight. If body is not straight, you don't have natural breathing. Sometimes you may feel some difficulty or some chest pain. So keep your head and body straight in order that you may have natural breathing. Then you can keep your hands on the knees or on the lap. You're going to join your hands together. When you are going to sit very long time, we recommend to sit, join hands. So if you can join your hands, you can make your body more stable. Then you can slightly close your eyes and mouth. But don't clench your teeth. If you close very tightly, then you may have some eye irritation, also some eyeball shaking. If you clench your teeth, you may feel tension in your jaw or in your face. Finally, it can be all over the head. That's why don't clench your teeth, relax totally. Then you must pay attention somewhere around your nostril. Your breath will touch anywhere around your nostril, at the tip of the nose or upper lip. Whenever you feel the breath is okay, you have three options. You can know the in-breath, the out-breath, and the touching point. As long as you can know one of these three, it's okay. So one more thing we have to remind, don't follow internally and externally. If you follow internally or externally, you may know many other unnecessary things. Then you cannot improve your concentration. So it should be around the nostril all the time. It should be natural all the time. As a new practitioner, you may have a lot of thoughts, pain, also drowsiness sometimes. When you have very short thoughts or very slight thoughts, you can bring your mind back to the breath. But when you have many thoughts or very long thoughts, you can do counting breathing. First, you must know in out, then count 1, in out 2, in out 3, up to 8. As long as you have a thought, you can do counting 1 to 8 again and again. If you don't have any thought, you can stop counting, focus on the breath normally and naturally. Then again, pain in your legs. After sitting, sometimes you may feel pain. If you feel pain a little bit, okay, don't think about it, just keep knowing breathing. Sometimes you may feel pain too much and unbearable. You can change your sitting position slowly and then quietly. But you must keep knowing breathing in any condition. Another thing is when sitting very long time, you may also feel too much pain. If you cannot sit anymore, you can also stand up, keep knowing breathing. So standing meditation will not be as good as sitting meditation because you have to balance your body. You have to put extra effort to balance. That's fine. Your concentration quality will not be that good. But anyway, this is also acceptable. So when you are walking also, you must keep knowing breathing. Before walking, you can stand still in one place, close your eyes, and also keep knowing breathing. When you can know breathing clearly, you can slightly open your eyes and you can also do walking meditation. It should be slower than normal walking. It doesn't mean you have to walk very slowly, right? Just slower than normal walking. As long as you can know breathing, it's okay. So walking meditation also not as good as sitting meditation, but anyway, you can balance your effort and concentration. So if we summarize, wherever you are, you must keep knowing breathing. Only one object all the time. Don't follow any other things. But as a new practitioner, that you must be very careful about your mind. Your mind must be calm and quiet. If your mind becomes very busy, you cannot focus very well. So that means don't make your mind busy. More relaxed, more calmness. This is more important in meditation. Another thing is that natural breathing. Your breathing must be natural. Don't control, don't focus. If you control your breathing too much, you may feel suffocating and chest pain. Then you cannot focus very well. That is why your breathing must be natural, don't control. If you forcefully breathe in, breathe out, or if you have deep breaths, if you make deep breaths many times, finally you may feel tension around your nostril. And your body also not that much comfortable. That is why it should be natural breathing. Don't control, don't focus. Everywhere it should be natural. Okay, the last one is natural effort or balancing effort. If we say balancing effort, it must not be very strong. Also, it must not be very weak. We can say medium effort. Medium effort means as long as you can know breathing, don't put any extra effort. Sometimes we can know breathing, but we cannot satisfy with our concentration. Then we will put a little bit more effort. In the very beginning, it's okay. Gradually, after some time, we cannot satisfy with that condition also, make a little bit more effort. Make a little bit more effort. It will be getting deeper and deeper, but you cannot maintain. That is why, as long as we can know breathing, we must not put extra effort to know clearer, better, or deeper. If we make it, we will get tired very easily. If you put too much energy, within 20 minutes, you become exhausted. No more mind power to continue meditating. So save energy, keep knowing breathing normally and naturally. Don't expect clearer one or better one. Another thing is that relaxing too much. So sometimes we feel pleasant feeling, comfortable feeling, also rapture, joy, or tranquility, that kind of things. Mostly our mind inclined to that kind of feeling more because this is very pleasant. If we follow pleasant feeling, our effort becomes weaker and weaker to relax. Finally, the mind becomes blur, cannot know any particular object. We know something, but we cannot describe what kind of thing we know. So when that kind of thing happens, then you will lose your concentration. That's why we say natural effort or medium effort. Neither too strong, nor too weak. It should be more natural focusing, more natural effort. So everywhere we must keep knowing breathing. This subject is very simple, very natural. So since we are born together with breathing. When we pass away, breathing will stop. Then we can meditate anywhere, anytime, any conditions. If we can practice well, then it will be more effective. Then, okay, one more thing here, there are some meditators, they have seen the light, they have experienced some tranquility, rapture, joy, and some of them may have seen the nimitta, maybe, right? So when you see the light also, don't follow the light. When you feel too much comfort, like a pleasant feeling, tranquility, rapture, also don't follow them. So if we start seeing the light, one more thing we have to know is using the eyes. So if we use the eye to see the light, there will be more disturbance. So the light will come to our eyes all the time. So when we are going to sleep also, we cannot sleep well. That is why when you see the light, don't use your eyes. You must use your mind to know it. So actually, your mind go to the eyes and you use your eyes to see it. So now it should be simple. Whatever thing you feel or you see, you must use your mind to know breathing. So another thing is many shape, many color, many form. It can be many different locations. So whatever shape, whatever color, whatever condition you have, okay, don't follow it. If you follow the color will change. When your mind follow the shape will change. Similarly, when your mind follow the location will change. That it change the place frequently, then you cannot focus very well. So that means don't follow any shape, any color, or any other things you see. Just keep knowing, breathing. So whatever image appear is not very important. To keep knowing breathing is more important for improvement, to develop concentration. Anyway, so as long as your mind inclined to breathing is good enough. As long as your awareness is with breathing is good enough. So keep knowing breathing anywhere, anytime, any condition. Okay, there is somebody that they have seen the nimitta, right? Then they may have able to focus on the nimitta. So when your mind naturally go to the nimitta, okay, focus on the nimitta. As long as you can know breathing, don't think about nimitta too much. Keep knowing breathing. It will be easier for your improvement. And it's enough for today, right? Okay, so.
Thank you, Sayadaw. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So may we invite Sayadaw to start the Dhamma talk today on the workings of Kamma.
Okay.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay. We can start Namo Dasa 3 times, right? Namo Dasa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Dasa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Dasa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Okay, now we have to continue the second part of the workings of Kamma. As we have talked about Kamma yesterday, Kamma means action. Right? Then we also have to understand a few more things about the mind now. So the workings of the mind. The first one, the mind is not a fixed identity, right? Then, but it is a continuous process of arising and present way of mental states. Okay, here we should elaborate a few more things about the mind. The mind will know the object. Without the object, mind cannot arise. We know something, any condition. There will be some conditions when we have deep sleep, that we cannot know any particular object. At the time we are in the Bhavanga state. Sometimes in the dream, we can also know. That also we can say consciousness. So mind also cannot arise alone. It will arise together with mental factors, feeling, perception, volitions, and so on. Later I will explain all the mental factors. So mind will arise as a process. That means the mind will arise as a mental process. For example, when we know visible object, the color, the shape, or the form, at the time it will be Indon mental process. Similarly, when we hear something, it will be ear mental process. When we smell something, it will be nostril mental process. When we taste something, tongue mental process. Then when we touch something, it will be body mental process. Then when we think about something, it will be mind mental process. So that is the nature of mind. Mind will not arise alone. Also, it will not arise only one time. It will arise as process many times. That is the nature of the mind, so the working of the mind. Okay, one more thing here we have to elaborate. The mind just know the object. Then there can be many other functions of other mental factors. For example, contact. Contact will contact between mind and object. We call it Bali Phassa. So that means different mental factors may have different functions, different nature. That is why mind will arise together with the mental factors and working together. Do see or do know something. Okay, now we have to know a few more things about the mind. We can also say Kamma. So when we say the Kamma, very popular Pali word is Chirana Bhikkhave Kamma Varami Chena Ham. This is a very, very common. Volition, monks, is what I call Kamma. I mean, we call volition as a Kamma. Like I say, intentional action. We do something intentionally, then it becomes Kamma. Okay, now here we have two types of Kamma. Wholesome, Kusala, lead to good result. Unwholesome, Akusala, lead to suffering. So we also have one condition here, the seed of fruit produce the tree that bears the same kind of fruit. This is one of the things we have to understand, right? That the Buddha also said, if we are doing something bad, speech something bad, or think something bad, if we summarize another way, if we have wrong action, wrong speech, and wrong thought, it's possible to bring back result. This is what the Buddha said. So we can also understand opposite way. If we are doing good, speaking good, or thinking good, that means we have right speech, right thoughts, right action. It will bring good result. This is how Buddhists understand. Okay, the seed of fruit produces the tree that bears the same kind of fruit. So that means we plant a tree. Okay, mango tree, for example. We have many species of mango also, right? Some mangoes are sour, some mangoes are sweet. So if we plant sour mango seed, it will produce the tree. Then the tree will bear sour mango. Similarly, sweet mango, if we plant, then it will produce the tree. The tree will bear sweet fruit. This is the nature of Kamma. Then you may have known neem tree, very bitter taste, right? So similarly, we will plant neem seed. Then it will produce neem plant, neem tree. Then it will bear neem fruit. It will be bitter. So similarly, when we are talking about the Kamma, we have to understand this simile. The seed of fruit produce the tree that bears the same kind of fruit. Okay, now we have to move Kamma produce materialities. So we have many Kamma produce materialities. So here I have already listed out. Chakku Basara, iron translucency, is produced by Kamma. So we can practically see our condition now. We have different iron sites, right? Different iron shape also. So all are produced by Kamma. There are many people, they have good Kamma, then their iron size is very good, and although they are very old. Then this is also produced by Kamma. So when we are born, we have eyes. There are some people, they are not lucky enough, they don't have eye. Since they are born, they were born, they don't have good eyesight. Then again, Sotapassara, ear translucency. This is also produced by Kamma. We have different sensitivity of ear, right? Some of the people, they can hear very sensitive sound. Even very minor sound they could hear. Very soft sound they could hear. Some people, we have to speak very loud. So sometimes when our Kamma become weaker, also it can happen. Our ear become weak, our eyes become so weak. And Ānāpānasati, nose translucency. So there are some people, they can smell even very minor things. And some people, they cannot smell totally. This is the Ānāpānasati, nose translucency. Then Jivapasara, translucency. So there are some people, they can know even very minor taste. Right? Very, very. Then some people, then they will know very strong taste. It depends on their Kamma. We have different sensitivity of tongue. Then again, Kayapasara, body translucency. Body sensation also, right? Some people, even they can feel very minor things. Some people, if they can feel only very gross things. This is called Kamma produce materiality. Another than Haryawatu, heart materiality. This is also produced by Kamma. Then Iti Bhava, female sex materialities, Rusa Bhava, male sex materialities. So that means becoming male and female, this is also Kamma produce. Okay, the last one, Jivitindriya, life faculty. So there's also vital force of Rupakalpas, because the vitality of Rupakalpas, right? That means every single particles, there's some Kamma produce, every Kamma produce particles, there's a life faculty. It sustains the lifespan of materialities. It also sustains coexistent materiality. That's why this is called Kamma produce materialities. So why we have different conditions of all these things, this produced by Kamma. When our Kamma over, it will change. When our Kamma weaker, it will change. This is Kamma produce materialities. Okay, today we don't have enough time to talk about all types of Kamma. Maybe I have to cut into many pieces. Now we start wholesome, unwholesome consciousnesses. So we have 3 feelings when we are doing unwholesome deeds. Somanasa, pleasant feeling. Ubbeka, equanimity. Domanasa, unpleasant. So somanasa also can be translated as a happiness or joy. So when we are doing something, although it's agusala, we are very happy sometimes, right? Then this is called somanasa. Sometimes just normal. We don't feel any happiness. More neutral. At the time, we can say ubbeka, equanimity. Domanasa, unpleasant, this is very clear already. If we dislike something, domanasa, unpleasant feeling. So when we are doing agusala, we may have 3 feelings. This is mentally. Of course, bodily also we may have another feeling, right? Body also pleasant and unpleasant. Also, body also, we can say equanimity. Sometimes we don't feel. Okay. Mostly in the body sensation, we just use pleasant or unpleasant. Okay, another thing, they can also arise together with wrong view and prompt. Sometimes when we are doing akusala, we have wrong view. Wrong view means we don't believe in Kamma. There's also can be. Sometimes we just believe, oh, by doing this kind of thing, I can beautify my mind. I can improve myself. We have that kind of mindset. Sometimes, although we make mistake, we don't see it as a mistake. This is the right thing, right? This also. Then prompt. Sometimes we ourselves do willingly. Sometimes encouraged by somebody, we are doing. And this also called prompt. Later, I have to elaborate prompt also. Okay, if we showed another one, that is it. We can say akusala kamapata ahosantit. Okay, some body action, such as killing, stealing, social misconduct. These are akusala. So when we are killing, stealing, social misconduct, what kind of feeling? Some it can be pleasant, it also can be unpleasant, it also can be neutral. Any feeling can be, right? So you have already know this wrong action, wrong speech, wrong thought. Maybe not that much in detail, maybe, right? Later I have to elaborate more. Okay, for example, killing. When we are going to talk about akusala, although we don't kill any living beings, but if we agree when somebody kills for us, or when somebody is killing animals or some living beings, this is also akusala. I mean, we must not agree to kill any living beings. Now that if we praise, oh, he's very smart, he can kill, he can shoot, I know, like a shooting, like hunting, fishing, that kind of case, right? If we praise, oh, you are very smart, you know how to fish, you are very smart, you know how to hunt. If we praise somebody killing, this is also akusala. Then if we encourage or order or command anybody to kill, this is also akusala. Okay, similarly, stealing, such a misconduct. We have different condition. Although we don't keep by ourselves, we agree, praise, or encourage, or command or order. This will be akusala. Again, speech, such as lying, divisive speech, harsh speech, and idle chatter. Okay, later we have to elaborate that one also, because it's too deep. For example, telling lie, we may have many different manner of telling a lie. For example, sometimes we see, but we say we don't see. But we don't see, but we say we see. Right? We can also understand the same: seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, thinking. So we just say opposite. This is called lying. Okay, one more thing. What about white lying? Right? This is very common in modern society, right? White lying. Actually, white lying also breaking precepts. Because we do with good intention, but this is not akusala. Right? We have to think on this one, right? We have good intention. Okay, one more thing here. In the list of white line, we can also say in Pali, walanchaka musawada. Sometimes we have our belonging, we don't want to give to somebody. Then we say, I don't have to protect your own property. This is not telling, this is telling a lie, but not akusala. Similarly, if somebody will disturb or make harm other people, if you tell the truth, for example, somebody is hiding in your house, right? Then many people are looking for him. If he was captured or arrested, he will be tortured or he will be killed. Then to save his life, you say, nobody come here. That means to save somebody, or to help somebody with a good intention. In this case, this is also musawada, but it's not akusala. Also breaking precept also, right? This is breaking precept. That kind of breaking is not, right? Akusala, that's why you cannot be living in the hell, because this kind of wrong speech. Okay, similarly, there are many other beneficial telling a lie. If you tell a lie, it will be beneficial for somebody. For example, someone that you are kid, not very well, not learning very hard, then you may tell a lie, right? Then to motivate him or her. Then in this kind of case, you have good intention. We're gonna say akusala. But anyway, this is breaking precept, right? Similarly, we can also understand divisive speech. That means you spoil people's love. It can be among the friends and the family member, right? Then slandering, because of slandering, they cannot be united anymore. This is called akusala. Sometimes somebody is very bad. You don't wish your son and daughter to associate with him or with her. In this kind of case, we cannot say divisive speech. You have good intention. Okay, similarly, harsh speech. Sometimes, although you don't hate, you may scold somebody, right? With good intention. We're gonna say harsh speech. I read chatter. This one's very clear, right? Talking about many other useless things. I like talking about movie, novel, or right, politics, and many things, right? These are called idle chatter. So if something very useful for somebody, we say something useful, right? In this case, we cannot say idle chatter. Okay, what about the mind? We have the body of covetousness. We can also understand as avijja. Okay, one more thing. Avijja means we just wish to get other people's property in the improper way, by using illegal way or improper way, right? This kind of then can be considered avijja in Bali. But mostly evil we translate as bhayapada. This is actually mentally, we just want to destroy somebody. We just want to spoil something, destroying something, or somebody's property also possible. This is called ill will. Then we can also say have wrong view. Okay, wrong view is very wide meaning. Even we have already said something yesterday. Okay, these are we call in Bali avijja, bhayapada, miccha ditthi. Avijja is equal to lobha. We don't want to get other people's properties, right? This is the lobha. Ill will is a dosa, very bad mind, to disturb other people, to destroy other people, that kind of mind. Wrong view is a wrong, accepting wrong idea, wrong thinking, keep thinking wrong things, right? This is called wrong view. Okay, so these are akusala kammapata, unwholesome deeds. Actually, in Buddhism, everybody knows this 10, because this is very common in every part of Buddha teaching. Okay, now we should move to the next part. 8 greedy consciousnesses. So when we are greedy, we may have this 8. Right? So we start with a feeling, pleasant feeling and unpleasant feeling, 2. Then associated with wrong view. Then also associated with wrong view. So pleasant feeling multiplied by 2. Right? Then in every associated also imprinted. Okay, to make it easier, right? 2 feeling multiplying by associated wrong view, dissociate with wrong view, 4. Then the 4 will be multiplying by imprinted and imprinted. It becomes 8. These are 8 greedy consciousnesses. So, okay, I should elaborate a little bit more. Okay, so we are going to talk something very bad, for example, ill of somebody, right? Bad reputation of somebody. It's not pleasant thing, right? Do. Okay, then we do happily, we speak happily, pleasant. We don't think it's a mistake. We don't say this is the wrong thing to do, wrong view. Then nobody encourage us, we just speak willingly, unprompted. Okay, this is the example, right? Then another thing, okay, we get some good products. Okay, here I have only one thing, right? This one, right? Okay, webcam, for example, right? Or camera or webcam. Anyway, we have the camera or webcam, for example, right? We just going to buy. When seeing that, we are very happy, pleasant feeling. We don't think that is a agusala, or we don't feel, right? Then this is the wrong thing or anything. This is normal, right? Then we're gonna, okay, another thing is nobody encourage us. This will be one condition, right? Okay, we have a God, this one. Then they say, in the very beginning, I don't feel happy. Equanimity. We don't feel happy, right? We don't then the quality, the value of this one, right? That's why we are not very happy. Also, again, associated with the wrong view, right? Then this also happen in our mind, right? Unprompted. Lower mind arise in our, but we have lower, but not very strong, right? Lower mind arise in our mind. Okay, one more thing here. Prompted. In the very beginning, we are not that greedy, not very strong attachment. Later, somebody says, oh, this one is very good quality. Right? Then talk about how you function, how you walk, many things. Finally, we become greedy. It's prompted. So there are many cases like that. Sometimes in the very beginning, we are not that greedy. We don't have that much attachment. Gradually, when somebody talk about the quality, the value, the function, and many things, we become greedy. It will be prompted. Actually, there are many other conditions we have to explain later. Okay, now we should go to the next one. True hatred-rooted consciousness. Displeasure associated with aversion. Unprompted and prompted, only two. So how many times you get angry one day? How do you get angry? Right? You can check with this one. So in the very beginning, sometimes in the very beginning, we are not angry, but somebody force us, right? Get information. Why you are so patient? He's doing very bad to you, for example, right? She's very bad, doing bad to you. Why you are so patient? And sometimes they may say, she's speaking very bad, very bad. Why you are so patient? Right? Then at the time we start getting angry. Right? That kind of thing also can happen, right? Naturally, we are really very patient. When somebody trigger, we get angry. This also can happen. That's why displeasure also have prompted and unprompted. Okay, here I should say a few things about dosa. We have many different conditions of dosa. For example, sometimes we see undesirable object, right? Undesirable object, then we get angry. We dislike this one. We feel unpleasant in our mind. Sometimes although it's a desirable object, but our mind dislike. That's what can happen. So that means desirable object naturally, but we dislike. It can be dosa. So mostly people understand when we see undesirable object, anger arise, or dosa arise. But in reality, our mind is also something cheating. Although desirable object, it can change to undesirable. You can say mind made undesirable, but naturally desirable. That kind of thing also can happen. now delusion, two delusion-rooted consciousness. So delusion is always associated with equanimity. When we have delusion, we cannot feel happy anymore, right? Because the delusion is cannot produce happiness. Similarly, dosa also cannot produce happiness. That's why it's called displeasure. Then equanimity, another thing associated with restlessness. So when we have restlessness, we don't feel happy. That mostly equanimity. Okay, another thing is associated with skepticism. We can say doubt. When we have doubt also, we cannot feel happy. That's why it's equanimity. So these are delusion-rooted consciousness, according to Bidama. So altogether, we have a 12 agusala consciousnesses, 8 greed-rooted consciousness, also 2 hatred-rooted consciousnesses, also 2 delusion-rooted consciousnesses, altogether 12. So when these 12 can arise, how these 12 arise? I have to elaborate a few more about the Pali term. Somanasa, joy, can arise with greed-rooted consciousness. It also refers to delight, happiness, gladness, satisfaction, common in those who are thoughtless. Sometimes we don't consider good and bad too much. That's why we can feel happy very easily. And those who are immature, you can also see practically there are many mature people. They are very, very rare laughing, right? They rarely laugh. Mostly their face will be normal. Although it's very funny, then they will not laugh easily. They are mature. Another naturally cheerful by disposition. Okay, briefly, if somebody has habit of happiness too much, then it will be easier. That they have happy nature, right? Then they can feel happiness whatever then they are doing. The ubeka, translated as equanimity, refers to natural state that is neither happiness, nor neither happy, nor sad, neither pleasant nor unpleasant. This is also called ubeka, equanimity. So most common in daily life. Actually, in our daily life, we have ubeka. We have very short time happiness, actually. Can you check your daily life now, right? Every minute, every moment, we have equanimity. Not very happy. Then prevalent to those who are thoughtful. If we are very thoughtful, then although it's very, very strong designable object, we cannot feel happy. So we know very deeply. Right? If we are very wise also, right? We cannot feel happy easily. Another thing is mature. So if we are very mature also, that although we see the most desirable things, we cannot feel happy easily. Even although we see our favorite things, we cannot feel happy easily. Another thing is naturally calm. This one's also very clear already, right? Somebody, they are very naturally calm. Then they cannot feel happy easily. They have ubeka. Okay, DT, wrong view. Wrong practice and a wrong view. One should consider whether to follow traditional practice under the Silabbata Paramasa. This is the one thing, right? Yesterday, in a question and answer, somebody asked me about Silabbata Paramasa, believing in rite and ritual. It's very concerning with, on this one, you go to the China ground, you offer to your etc., right? That one, right? Silabbata Paramasa or not. Okay, here in this case, Silabbata Paramasa comes from belief. How we believe. If we believe that kind of thing where wrong practice where purifying our minds, can make us improve, when we have this kind of believing, this kind of understanding, this is called wrong view. Then there will be many other types of wrong view. Even yesterday, I already say, ahidukaditi, rootless view. That means there's no reason of rising on kusala or agusala or anything. Then we also say akiriya. Akiriya means although we are doing good things, it's not really means good. Although we are doing very bad things, it's not really means bad. Good and bad is not truth. It's determined by people. Right? Good people were, the different community may have different standard of good and bad. When we have this kind of belief, this kind of understanding, this is called ditthi. Okay, another thing is when not associated with wrong view, it tend to be associated with bright mana. So that means loba, greed, groove. It was associated with wrong view, sometimes it was associated with mana. So sometimes it will not associate with mana also, is possible. So these are the conditions of samnasa, upekkha, and ditthi. Then we have to move the next one. It will be a little bit heavy. Right? Prompted consciousness can arise when in following conditions. So being guided physically and bodily. So this is also the condition. Sometimes in the very beginning, we are not that much active. But when somebody guides us, physically or bodily, we become very active. Again, being shown or told how to do. Somebody show how to do, what to do. Then we learn. We are eager to learn at that time. Then we do it. We do agusala. For example, how to fish, for example, right? Now you have to learn how to prepare a hook. After that, how to draw back. You have to learn everything, right? Another thing is considering benefits and drawbacks. So if we think about many consequences, then sure, we may have burnt it. Right? For example, if I kill and that kind of thing will happen, if I steal, that kind of thing will happen, we think about benefit and disadvantages too much, we may hesitate to do. That's also burnt it, right? Then another thing is that due to pressure, somebody pressure to do. Right? So that means we have to do very well, right? Because somebody pressure, we have to do it, the print. Then reading and listening to the guidance or instruction. Okay, now modern community is very easy. If we want to do something else, we can check in the YouTube. We can ask in the internet, right? They will answer many questions. If we don't know how to fish, then just search in the YouTube. They will teach you how to do fishing. If you want to know how to make a gun also, you can search in YouTube. You can find everything, right? So that means reading, listening, or guidance or instruction, then we become eager to do it. And then self-encouragement. Sometimes we just encourage ourselves to do. When you are so lazy, we force ourselves, right, to do something. This is also called printed. Again, I'm being inspired by other people's action. Or it depends on maybe our hobby also, right? Okay, many of my friends, they are very interested in football match, you know. Then they watch football match, right? A match, you know? They watch football match. Also, they're trying to play football like this, right? That means sometimes when seeing somebody, they become eager. In the beginning, we are not that much interested. Right? For example, if you see somebody knowledgeable, you need to read more books, right? Even in my case, you know, when I read one Sayadaw books, like you may not know that one because he write in Myanmar language, Nyongleben Sayadaw, for example, right? I would read many books because he combined everything very well. That means when seeing somebody doing very well, it motivates us to do, right? Okay, now 8, the last one. During the times of illness or fatigue, then we need encouragement, right? At the time, will be pruned or unpruned. Okay, that means pruned and unpruned can decide by all these 8 conditions. Mostly, if we are very tired, we are not very willing to do something, right? At the time, unpruned maybe, right? Sorry, pruned. Somebody must force us to do something. So if we are fresh, okay, we can do. So these are the conditions of pruned consciousness or unpruned consciousnesses. So in our daily life, you have to check when you do good things or bad things, right? When you need motivation or encouragement, you have to check all these conditions. So okay, one more thing here. Now, when we are going to improve wisdom, for example, we need good friends because we can emulate them. Similarly, when we want to develop Saddha also, we need good friends. And he has very strong Saddha. Now we can also emulate his behavior, his way of life, his way of speech. Then it can change our lifestyle. So printed can be come from ourselves, also come from environment. Okay. Then we have heaviest one now. Associated mental factors. This will be the last part for today. Also very heavy, right? I will introduce one by one. The first group, we have 7 mental factors. Phassa, contact. So contact divide into many parts. As we have known in our daily life, for example, eye contact, when we see something, ear contact, nose contact, tongue contact, body contact, mind contact. So here, in the case of phassa, we can also say mind contact. How can we know it's a phassa, mind contact? For example, when you see somebody eating lime or lemon, you may have saliva inside your mouth naturally, right? Only mind contact when seeing somebody eating sour food, it happens. Okay, one of your friends or maybe small kids or something climbing the tree, or we jumping up and jumping down from the chair or something, then it's also very risky, right? Actually, he's doing, but you are excited. This is also mind contact, right? So that, okay, that means phassa means just mind contact. It doesn't mean we have to see with our eye on something. Okay, anyway, in the case of phassa, we have some condition. For example, when we see something, we need eye translucency. Then our eyesight must be good enough. Also, visible object. The object must be clear enough. After that, we have eye consciousness. Our mind must also pay attention to there. These 3, right? So contact, phassa will work for this, to work these 3 together. So then it will contact with object and mind, object and eye translucency, the object all together, right? Combination of these 3 together, object, also eye translucency, also we can say consciousness, eye consciousness, right? Then contact will force them to work together. It contact these 3 together. We can also say it merge these 3 together, right? This is called phassa. Okay, Vedana, feeling. We have already mentioned 3 feelings: pleasant, unpleasant, and equanimous feeling. But now we also have two other feelings come from body. There's a pain because of suffering, right? Bodily suffering, bodily pain. Another thing is a pleasant feeling in the body. We call sukha and dukkha. So this is called feeling. So every time we have one feeling, some feeling, one or three feeling, pleasant, unpleasant, equanimity. Without feeling, mind cannot work. Another is sanya, perception. Perception means they're like a marking the properties, marking the things, living things or non-living things, or anything we mark in our minds. This is called sanya, perception. So for example, when we say flower, when somebody say flower, we can easily know because we have seen it. We mark in our mind. When somebody say, we can easily know that one. Similarly, when we say cup, microphone, we can easily capture in our mind because we mark it in our mind. This is called perception, sanya. So we have many, many types of sanya. For example, when seeing visual object, we also mark there. When hearing also, we mark something. This sound, that sound, we mark. Smelling also, smell of flower, smell of perfume, smell of this, smell of that, we mark everything. Taste also, we mark. Sensation also, we mark. When we touch something, this is a problem, a crawling insect or biting a mosquito bite or something, we can mark all the sensation in our body. In the mind also, we mark, right? Sometimes we think something, we mark in our mind. We remember. Sometimes we have good idea or bad idea, we mark in our mind. All these are called perception, sanya. Sanya is like a carpenter's marking. For example, here we have a drawer, for example, right? In the drawer, they have to join something. Then carpenter will mark 1, 1, 2, 2 like this, right? So they were fixed 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3, 4 to 4 like this, like a marking. Similarly, perception will mark everything. This one and this one, this one and this one. 2 together, 3 together, 4 together, also possible. Single one also possible. It will mark everything. This is called perception. Okay, 𝐶ेတနာ, volition. So we have already said volition is a Kamma. That means volition will force all other mental factors to work. This is like a reinforcing to work all the mental factors. So we have one simile, like a team leader, working team, right? And team leader. Team leader, he also has to work his own duty. He also has to take care of all his worker. Similarly, volition also work his own duty. It also forces all other mental factors work their duties. This is called volition, 𝐶ेတနာ. So whether we are doing good or bad, we have this kind of factors. Sometimes it becomes very strong, sometimes it will become weak. It depends on how strong and how weak our Kamma will be different. Okay, now the next one. ēkakkata, one-pointedness. This is keep knowing one thing all the time. This is called one-pointedness. So if we know many things, we don't have one-pointedness also, right? But anyway, this is also universal mental factors. It can associate with any good and bad things. Sometimes we have the same thoughts many days, right? Good thought or bad thoughts on the same day, the same thing, the same thinking many days we have one-pointedness. Okay, now when you're meditating, you may need more one-pointedness. Okay, one more thing here. When you know samma samadhi, right concentration, this is also ēkakkata, one-pointedness. Now we also have miccha samadhi, wrong concentration, also ēkakkata, one-pointedness. So if we keep knowing the same thing many times, it becomes power. If we keep thinking the same thing, it becomes power, right or wrong, right? That's why it can also important factors in our daily life. If we keep thinking wrong, then sure, we become wrong person. If we think good thing many times or whole day, whole month, whole year, will be much better. Okay, now another one, Jivitindriya, life faculty. So you may remember in Kammacharupa, Kamma mentalities, there is also Jivitindriya. This is the materiality. This one's a mentality. It will sustain the lifespan of associated mental factors or mentalities. That's called Jivitindriya. So after arising, before passing away, they can function their duties. Then it will maintain. This is called life faculty, Jivitindriya. Manasikara. You have already known this one, right? Manasikara, intention. So everybody knows this English word, intention. Why is intention and why is intention? Right? When we have wise intention, is good thing. We are doing good things. When we have bad intention, we are doing bad things. Of course, intentions are no wisdom. It cannot be right all the time. Sometimes we have good intention, but it affects very bad also, right? Then these seven are called seven universal. It can arise with any kind of consciousnesses. It can be good, bad, or neutral. They will arise together. Okay, now we have the next six. So the next six also can arise with both good and bad, but not all the time. For example, we take our initial application. So that means we direct our mind to know the object. Now here, in the case of meditation, you may know, right? You have to direct your mind to keep knowing object. This is called Vittaka, initial application. But some part of Vidama, some scholar, they also translate as a thought. Vittaka is a thought. So people misunderstand. That means when we are meditating, we also have an initial thought. But in reality, Vittaka means initial application. We have to direct our mind to know the object. Vichara, such an implication. So that means we keep knowing the same thing, the sustained by vichara. If you have a red abhidhamma, you may know Vittaka vichara cannot associate with second jhana. Right? That's why they are occasional. They will not arise all the time. They cannot associate with all types of consciousnesses. There is some exception. But anyway, they have a good and bad. For example, in the case of Vittaka, we have a 3 round thought. Kamma Vittaka, thoughts of sensuality. Vyabhara Vittaka, thoughts of evil. Vihimsa Vittaka, thoughts of cruelty. These are wrong thoughts. We also have a right thought, thoughts of renunciation, thoughts of goodwill, thoughts of non-cruelty. These are right thoughts. So which are also the same. We can sustain good things or bad things, the same, right? Okay, now adhimokha, decision. Okay, one more thing here, right? Decision, if we have doubt, we're going to decide. Right? That's why decision cannot arise all the time. Okay, we can also understand that adhimokha also means freedom of thought. Make our mind free to decide. To take object. This is also called adhimokha. Okay, another thing is viriya, energy. I think this is what Bali was very common, right? Everybody know viriya. Okay, if we have printed mind, right? How it will be, right? Okay, the main thing is if we are lazy, we don't have viriya. That means it cannot associate all the time. We also can be with good and bad both. Sometimes we are very energetic when doing bad things. Sometimes we are very energetic when doing good things. It can be both good and bad. So we have two types of viriya. The first one is mental energy, manasika viriya. It comes from our minds. Another one is bodily energy. We have to use our power, bodily power, to achieve something. At the time, we need body energy. This is also called viriya. Kājika viriya, cetasika viriya in Pali. Okay, now the next one, piti, rapture. So we have many different nature of piti. We can also say like a rejoice or delight or that kind of thing also possible. Piti. So we have many different forms of piti in meditation. Okay, daily life also you may have many other piti, right? Some of you you feel very pleased, very happy. At the time there will be piti. Then in meditation, piti will be different form. Then you can experience piti. Okay, for example, you may feel like a floating, right? Maybe for a long time meditation, they may have that kind of experiences. You may feel floating. You don't feel that you are touching on the ground. That kind of thing is also called piti. Sometimes you may feel like you are sinking down. This is also piti. Sometimes like you may feel you are flying in very high speed also possible, right? This is also piti. So sometimes you may feel like electric shock in your body. This also, we can say piti. You can also feel like hair rising all over the body. Not really hair rising, right? You may feel hair rising when meditating. This is also one of the form of piti. Sometimes very subtle, very fine piti, then you just please. Your mind become very soft, flexible, very joyful. It may all over the body become very comfortable. Then this is also piti. This is in meditation you can experience, but in daily life you cannot experience that kind of thing, right? Then again, chanda, desire. This is we call miya desire, not attachment, not grasping, not lust. This is also one of the things we have to remember, right? Desire means miya desire. Okay, we have some example. How different between lobha or tanha and chanda, for example? That kind of question, right? Lobha and tanha are the same mental factors. Chanda and lobha are different. We have one example. When we stretch our hand to get something, it's a chanda. When we grasp and take it, it's a lobha. So that means chanda will like stretch out our hand to get something. The first type of lobha also possible, right? But sometimes we have supreme desire. We can also say to do good things. This is called chanda, right? Actually, we have many explanations of chanda. Okay. For example, desire to do good things is a chanda. Desire to do bad things also chanda. So sometimes we also ask, if you want to attain nibbana, this is also lobha or chanda, right? Nibbana, you cannot enjoy anything, right? It must be chanda. You cannot enjoy anything. This cessation, not for enjoyment, right? For if we say lobha, there must be something to enjoy. Lobha will follow only enjoyable things. Even that's not for enjoyable, right? Okay, the main thing is chanda, desire can be both kusala and akusala. Okay, these six will arise occasionally from time to time. So the first 7 will arise every time in our daily life. Now we have the first 7 in every single moment. Okay, now we will go to Agusala group. Moha, delusion. Even we have explained yesterday. Delusion means not knowing the truth or uncovering the truth. Uncovering untrue, right? Covering the truth, we can say like that. This is called moha. Okay, you may remember some conditions of moha, like for example, when we don't know for noble truth, this is also moha. Also, not knowing past lives, future lives, both past and future lives. Also, not knowing divine origination. These are called moha. So sometimes without learning, because of lack of learning, we don't know something, it's not moha. And most people think, right? I have a very strong delusion, I don't know this. Actually, it's a lack of knowledge, not moha. Sometimes we cannot know how to think. Then we cannot understand something very deep level. This is not delusion. Okay? Now that's the ahirika, moral shameless. This is also very common. Ānāpānasati, moral fearless. This is also very common. Whenever we are doing something some agusala, then these two will accompany it. Because, okay, here we should say, ahirika and ānāpānasati, we are very eager to do unwholesome deeds. We don't feel any shame or any fear, or we can also say another way, we don't hesitate to do. Sometimes we hesitate to do something bad, or we are unwilling to do something bad. It can be moral shame and moral fear. Uddhacca, restlessness, I already mentioned before, in consciousness, right? So these 4 will arise together with any kind of unwholesome consciousness. Moha, ahirika, ānāpānasati, uddhacca. These are unwholesome universal. They will arise in any unwholesome mental process. Okay, now we have a lobha group. Lobha group. So we have already known lobha as a greed. Many of Buddhists have already known lobha, dosa, moha, right? But it's very common. Okay, here I should elaborate a few more about lobha. Then there will be many other translations. For example, love, lust, craving, attachment, sensual desire, all are called lobha. Although we change English term, sometimes we also change the Pali term, but it means the same, lobha. Okay, lobha is a little bit similar. If we say similarly, lobha is similar to a glues. You have known the glues, right? We can stick 2 together. So our mind will stick on one thing, especially desirable things, right? Our mind will stick on it. This is called lobha. Although it's very far, our mind can go and attach to it. So we have one example, a monkey catcher. He applies special glues to catch monkey in the branch of the tree. The monkey climbing and jumping here and there. One of his legs stuck on that glues. It cannot move anymore. To release, he used another legs to push. Start there again. Then use one of the hands to push, to release from it. Hand also stick on it again. Then only one hand remain, right? Push with the one hand, stick 4 together there. Then only head remain, right? Then he push with his head. Also head also stick there. So lobha is like this. Whatever then we like, we stick there. This is the nature of lobha, right? Then this is like a glues. Okay, there are many types of lobha. For example, we have attachment to sensual pleasure, attachment to the life, attachment to wrong view, possible. So there are many lobha. Actually, according to Vidama, if we calculate, there are 108 types of lobha. Too much, right? Another thing is ditthi, wrong view. We have already mentioned before, right? The mana, partly I have already mentioned. Even yesterday, we talked about mana. You may remember, if we summarize, there are only two types of mana, right? In Pali, yathawa mana, ayathawa mana. Okay, if we say in English, sometimes we have very strong mana. We are very arrogant, so arrogant that we don't accept the truth, right? So if we cannot accept the truth, this is a very serious mana. Sometimes, although we have mana, but we can still accept the truth. This is a flexible mana. That kind of mana is acceptable. So one more thing here for your information. Mana can be eradicated by Arhat. Even Anagami have mana. But their mana is flexible. Even Sotapanna, their mana is flexible. Right? That means if they know the truth, they will accept the truth. Then that kind of mana is common to everybody, right? So these three were associated with Lobha group. Here we have already mentioned 8 greed-rooted consciousnesses, right? So sometimes it was associated with Lobha and ditthi. Sometimes it can arise together with Lobha and mana. Sometimes Lobha alone can arise without ditthi and mana. We have many options. Okay, now the next one, dosa group. Dosa, hatred. So hatred, then when we translate as a hatred, people also misunderstand, right? When we hate somebody, it's a dosa. But in reality, dosa not only mean hatred, it also can be anger, worry, anxiety, fear. Any unpleasant feeling in the mind. This is called dosa. Then isa, jealousy. Okay, one more thing. Whenever isa arises, dosa will arise. Then jealousy, isa, right? Actually, it belongs to other people. For example, when somebody is very successful, you don't want to see. When somebody is very smart, you don't want to see, you don't want to hear. Right? That kind of mind can be considered as jealousy. That means you cannot see anybody better than you. Right? This is called isa, right? Material comes from ourselves, our own property. Because we translate as a stinginess or possessiveness. We don't want to share our knowledge, our property, our friends, our relatives, or our earning. Then all the things can be considered as a material. So there are some questions, right? Material. What's this? It should be lobha. Why it become dosa? So one more thing, right? When we feel stingy, we don't feel pleasant in our minds. It's come from dosa. It's caused by dosa. Sorry, it's caused by lobha. We have very strong attachment to it. That's why we don't want to share. This is in the initial state of material can be lobha, sure. But when material arises, we don't feel pleasant in our minds. We feel discomfort in our minds. That's why it's in the group of dosa. So, okay, in the same way, whenever material arises, dosa will arise. They will arise together. Another thing is kukuja, remorse. In the case of remorse, we can divide into 2 different groups. The first one, after doing wrong things, we regret. We remember, we recall, and we feel unhappy. That means after doing wrong things, this is the one thing, right? Another thing is not doing good things. So this is also one of the conditions. Sometimes we miss an opportunity to do something good. Later, we regret. Okay, we should say practical way, right? So in my life, I have many classmates. Some of my classmates are stronger than me. For example, one of my classmates, he could memorize half of Vinaya Pitaka, the first part of Vinaya Pitaka, right? Typical examination, within 6 months, he could finish the first part of divided into 2 parts, right? Vinaya Pitaka examination. He finished the first part within 6 months. Very strong, right? Then, if I do like him, I can also do actually. If I'm trying like him, I also can do. But at the time I was learning English, I cannot do. Okay, the main thing is sometimes, when seeing somebody better than us also, if I do like this, I can be like him, like her. This also, right? We miss good opportunity. We miss something to do good. This is also called kukucha. Okay, kukucha can be only these two. After doing wrong things, or after missing good opportunity, or missing something to do good, we have kukucha. Whenever kukucha arises, dosa arises. Okay, here if we merge together, dosa, isa together, dosa, matriya together, dosa, kukucha together. Sometimes dosa alone arise. We have another group, tinamita, sloth and torpor. Okay, here we should also say a few things about tinamita. That means sluggish mind, not very active. We can say it's a tinamita. We have already mentioned printed and unprinted. When it's a printed tinamita, because of tinamita, we are printed, right? We have to force ourselves to do something. It becomes printed. Okay, now, the last one for today. Vicikiccha, doubt or skepticism. Yesterday also we have already said something about the doubt. You may remember, or you may not remember, I'm not sure, right? Even today also in the very beginning, we have already talked about vicikiccha in the consciousness. So in the case of vicikiccha, there are many kind of doubts. Some of the doubt are not very important. For example, we may have a doubt about this morning or afternoon or evening, right? We don't watch. We don't have a watch. Right? We're gonna decide morning, afternoon, or evening. In this case, we cannot say doubt. No, we're gonna say vicikiccha is a doubt, not vicikiccha, right? So that means not all the doubt are vicikiccha. Okay, if we have a doubt about the Buddha's quality, Dhammas and Dhamma's quality, Sanghas quality, of the 3 trainings, and the benefit of 3 trainings, and different originations, past lives, future lives, past and future lives, present lives, then these are called vicikiccha. So vicikiccha is also one of the delusion. It will associate with delusion all the time. Without delusion, it cannot arise. Right? Anyway, these are consciousness that can arise together with unwholesome mental state. Altogether, 27 mental factors here. If you calculate, you can find, right? If you calculate from phassa to vicikiccha, there will be 27 mental factors. So these will arise together with unwholesome consciousnesses. It doesn't mean whenever unwholesome consciousness arises, these 27 will arise, not like this, right? Conditionally, for example, when we have decision, no doubt. When we have doubt, no decision. Occasionally, they can arise. So, okay, these are unwholesome karma in our daily life. So, we already mentioned Volition is Kamma. It comes from our mind. When our mind is good, there will be wholesome. When our mind is bad, it will be unwholesome. Okay? So, and then today, we should stop here, right? 1 hour already. May you all be able to practice 3 trainers. May you all be able to realize final cessation and not suffering.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you, Sayadaw. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Sayadaw, may we proceed to the Q&A now?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We shall first take question from the floor, and then we will read the questions sent in by participant via the chat. On-site student, if you have any question, you may raise your hand. We will bring the mic to you. And those yogi online, you may also raise your hand, or you may send your question to the Zoom chat. Okay. There's one question here, Sayadaw. When the person doesn't have right view, he will commit unwholesome karma. Just now, Sayadaw mentioned a person can make akusala karma with or without wrong view. For example, doesn't believe in karma, etc., or greedy. How is it possible a person can be angry or greedy without wrong view? Thank you, Sayadaw.
Actually, in the case of lobha, right? For example, you become very proud of your ability. Just recall your ability. It's not wrong view, right? For example, you can pass, right, very high ranking examination. Then you can be proud of your education. Is it not a wrong view? No wrong view, right? This is your ability, your skill. Then you may have very high position. You may be proud of your position. This is just proud. You don't harm anybody, right? This is just mana agusala. Okay. For example, you have a high position. You may bully people to get more profit. In this kind of case, you may have a wrong view because you harm people, right? Mana, it will harm you more. It will harm other people very less. The ditthi, very harmful for both you and other people. Okay. Another the dosa. When you get angry, there can be no reason also sometimes, right? How many times have you get angry without reason? For example, okay, very heavy rain. You have to go out. You get angry. You don't have umbrella, right? You get angry. This rain is natural. We cannot stop also. It's not under our control, right? So okay, sometimes dosa without reason. That's why without ditthi, dosa also can arise. Without ditthi, lobha also can arise. Okay, the next one.
Any questions? Okay, we shall proceed to the question in the chat. And if you have any question, you can raise your hand or write down later on. Okay, question 1. You please move the slide to question 1. Okay, Wandami Sayadaw, does soul exist? 请问尊者灵魂存在吗？ Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
顶礼Sayadaw，请问尊者灵魂存在吗？ Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay. So that means this is the answer the Buddha didn't. This is the Buddha avoid this kind of answer also, right? Right? You may know the Buddha avoid 10 answer, right? Maybe this is a right wrong question also, right? Wrong question, because it does not exist according to Buddha teaching. So it does not exist, right? So we just say the mental process, or maybe continuations or mentalities and materialities like this. We don't have everlasting entity according to Buddha's teaching. Okay, yeah.
Question 2. Wandami Sayadaw, question 1. What caused a person to be reborn as a gay? 2. What is the karma if a person is a gay? 3. If a person is a gay, what will be his sex materiality? And 4. If he changes his sex to female, will his sex materiality change to female? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay, very sensitive question. Okay, it can be Kamma, Kamma. This is more possibility. Then, okay, what about materiality? It depends on what kind of, right? For the case, mostly men, right? So that means he may have maybe more Purisa Bhava Rupa, right? If he change, this is also possible, change female materiality, possible. Because when karma ripen, it will change naturally, right?
Question 3. Wandami Sayadaw, how one should direct the mind to transform pema to become metta? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Yeah, this is also a big issue, right? So, okay, mostly people confuse like a pema means love, actually, right? Then another thing is that metta is loving kindness. Okay, we should say metta is loving every living being equal. This is called metta. In the case of pema, they have some limitation. For example, Kehasita pema, family love. Among the family member, we have a love, right? The Kehasita pema. Another thing is friendship. There's a love among the friends. This is also called pema, to say. So when we say metta, that means we don't choose the person. We have equal metta to all the living beings. Only one way to change this one, right? This is ready metta more. So you can change pema to metta. Okay, when you ready metta also, you might go systematically. For example, yourself, respected one, after that dear one, then you can go to indifferent one, after that enemies. Only by radiating metta, you can change your mindset. Okay.
Wandami Sayadaw, if we praise others doing akusala, will we get the same bad karma as the doer? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay, so it depends. We cannot say the same karma, right? In the case of akusala, we have to consider many other things. Okay, the first one, what to mean, for example, when we kill, it depends on the virtues of the victim. The person he killed is very virtuous, then it will be stronger akusala. Okay, then he's a killer. For example, if somebody kill his father, it becomes mighty karma, for example, right? But you praise him, it doesn't mean you have mighty karma, right? You are akusala shareholder, that's all, right? If we say easier way, akusala shareholder, right? Only that part. So another thing, sometimes for the person, the killer is not that much happy. You are happier than him, right? Then your akusala will be stronger, right? This is your mind, right? Okay, we have another conditions. That is defilements. How strong defilements is? For example, hatred. When we kill somebody with hatred. So it depends on how strong our hatred. There will be heavier agusala. So for example, sometimes the killer is not that much not that much hatred, but you agree, then you have stronger hatred, for example, then your agusala will be stronger. Another thing is effort, vidya. Then the killer had to make effort more than you, right? So compared to effort, your effort is very weak. That's why it cannot be stronger agusala, but you have to consider only one thing, that is the previous one, right? Defilement. When your defilements are stronger than the killer, your akusala will be stronger. Okay.
Question 5. Vandami Sayadaw, it is very common that people who tell lies, they will tell more lies to cover their previous lies. What kind of mind is this? Does Buddha teach about the virtue of integrity? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Actually, okay, it became habit, right? It became heavier akusala. And not only in, we can say Musavara, also similarly, we have like a idle chatter, right? Useless talk. It will be the same. So, okay, we should say a few more things about, how do this one? Heavy, how heavy it is, right? For example, how heavy it is. Okay. So if we have more habit, what some, okay, I should say previously, right? But defilements, right? I already mentioned defilements. In every akusala, we have to think about defilements. So here the same defilement, that's why I keep doing the same things. And this is one of the problem, right? Now that is the object. What kind of things? How harmful for others? It's very strong, very harmful for others. This is a very serious akusala. You know, very harmful, it's very minor akusala. This is one thing, right? Okay, we have one more thing in this kind of case. Asevana mahanda. Asevana means habit, repetition. It becomes stronger akusala. Okay, so that means Asevana mahanda also make stronger akusala. It becomes habit, and you cannot change. Then finally, it becomes serious. So what kind of defilements is very difficult to say, right? Okay, two brothers themselves, maybe they love themselves too much also, maybe. It depends on they hate somebody too much, also possible. So we cannot say what kind of defilement it is. Okay? Yeah?
Okay, Vandami Sayadaw, question 6. Vandami Sayadaw, I understand that Mara is living in the high heavenly realm. What qualities do such beings possess in order for them to be reborn as a Mara and always like to do destruction to practitioners? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Of course, he has a kusala karma in the past, right? It brings him to be the great realms. Actually, he's not the king in that realm also. Right? There are many other deva also there. Okay, here's a destroyer, then, but this is his akusala, this is very light, right? But we cannot grant you what about his future. Okay, if we say briefly, right? He has good karma in the past, that's why he has to be reborn in the deva realms. You know this one?
Question 7. Vandami Sayadaw, when a person says, I don't care, I will do this unwholesome, even I have to go to hell. I don't mind bearing this bad karma. What kind of mental state is this? What kind of qualities is lacking here? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay, so one more thing, right? There are some special people, when they have very strong wrong view or very strong mana, they don't regret. They don't feel remorse, although they are doing very bad things. Maybe they may have very strong mana or very strong wrong view. Only this two is possible. Okay.
Vandami Sayadaw, if someone does not have Dhamma knowledges and just live a normal life according to their environment, culture, and life condition, does that mean that mostly they will have a lot of DT in their daily life? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Actually, okay, in the case of DT, right? It's also many other supporting causes. For example, how kind of thing do we have to listen every day? So it comes from what we learn, how we listen every day. So if we have wrong information all the time, we can have wrong view. This is the one thing, right? Now this is their condition, their aptitude. When they have unwise intention, then they have more possibility to have a wrong view. Actually, we have some conditions of right or wrong view, but it will take a little bit longer to explain. Okay. Yeah.
Question 9. Wandami Sayadaw, when we are fatigued or sick, we may lose our patience, compassion, or goodness. How can we train our mind to be stronger during this time to continue with our goodness? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Actually, at that time, you must feel more pity to yourself, right? You must feel more pity for yourself. Okay. One more thing, right? Whenever some bad thing happen, we have to think about ourselves too much also, right? For example, if I get angry, we're gonna get any benefit. When you are sick, you get angry very easily. Nobody will take care of you, right? So the main thing is, whenever we have some like a improper mind or something, then we should think about karuna to ourselves, right? So when we get angry or when we have some unwholesome mind, we become very pitiful living beings naturally.
Question 10. Wandami Sayadaw, among the 7 mental factors, which are the most important ones, or is there any ranking according to their importance?
Actually, we cannot say any ranking. There are different conditions may have different leading factors. For example, sometimes you may have very strong pleasant feeling, for example, right? As you feel you have very strong happiness, for example. Other than feeling is the predominant factors. Sometimes you have to use your thinking or your intellectual quality to you have to recall something at the time. Perception will be the leading factors. It depends on the condition you have. There will be different leading factors. We're gonna say which one is stronger or weaker, right?
Question 11. Wandami Sayadaw, is upekkha similar to heartless? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay, one more thing, right? Heartless means neglecting people, neglecting our duties, right? We don't think about other people's welfare also, right? This is called heartless, right? Okay, upekkha doesn't mean heartless. Okay, we have many different degrees of upekkha. Upekkha means neutral feeling. Neutral feeling means neither happiness nor unhappiness. This is also called upekkha. I already mentioned, right? We have another type of upekkha, neither love nor hate. This is also called upekkha. Okay, in the case of upekkha meditation, this is a Brahma Vihara, special practice for advanced meditator, not for beginners. So another thing is when we are going to develop upekkha sampajanga, this is another type of upekkha. That's it. We must have equanimity towards many of our experiences or many other things, right? This is called equanimity. Enlightenment factors. So, okay, if we say briefly, we have many different types of upekkha. So upekkha is not, as you understand, upekkha is just equanimous mind or neutral mind in our daily life.
Wandami Sayadaw, attachment to Dhamma, is it lobha? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
What kind of attachment? Right? Okay, attachment to Dhamma, what kind of attachment? This is one of the things, right? So if we say Dhamma is very wide, what kind of Dhamma it is? For example, we have 28 rupas. Here I haven't explained yet, right? 28 rupas. Among the 28, Kala also, one of the rupa. Attachment to Kala, this is a rupa Dana, right? So if we say Dhamma Dana, it must be other things. For example, we may have attachment to translucency, right? Attachment to self-materialities, hard materialities, also other unconcrete materialities, also citta, jirasika, consciousness and mental factors. If we attachment to anything, this can be considered as Dhamma Dana. Okay? So attachment to Dhamma means if you have attachment to meditation, then what will happen? Okay, one more thing, right? We can also say attachment to meditation also. You may have attachment to great experiences in meditation. For example, you have very pleasant feeling, Like for example, rapture, joy, tranquility. You may like this kind of experiences. You may attachment to that kind of things. You cannot improve. Okay. We have another impurity in Vipassana. Right? For example, the light. Attachment to the light. Then I think you may have already known impurity of Vipassana, right? In Uddiyapaya Jnana, the knowledge arises in a passing away. For example, Ubhaka in that state, very strong equanimity towards mentality and materialities. Then also they have very strong attachment to that kind of experiences. Then it becomes an obstacle. So, okay, if we say briefly, Dhamma Tanna, attachment to Dhamma, it depends on what kind of things. Okay, as soon as you have attachment to something, you will be stopped and then you are blocked there. You cannot move forward. Okay.
Question 13. Wondermi Sayadaw, stubborn is categorized under which type of mental factors? What is the cause of stubbornness? Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Stubborn is a mana actually. Right? Stubborn is a mana. Does that mean, okay, how already say that there are two types of mana, right? Mostly if we have stubborn, that means they don't accept truth, right? Stubborn or arrogance, they are very strong mana. Right? In English, right? Stubborn and arrogance are very strong, right? So they will not accept the truth, for example. That's also a kind of mana. Okay. What's the cause of stubbornness? Oh, also mentioned that one, right? Okay. There can be many conditions of mana. Okay. If we list out, it will be endless. For example, it can be from your body. For example, beauty. Also can be any appearance in your body. This is the one other thing. That means your body, your appearance also can make you proud of, right? Another thing is your ability, your belonging. Then all these things can make you proud, right? So for in the case of ability, it also can include like a knowledge, position, right? Also, it can be like a community you live. Then there can be many conditions, right? So all of them make somebody proud or to make stubborn. Okay.
Hey, good morning, Sayadaw. I understand karma as I reap what I sow. So, but what if my role as a parent, I see some things, how much of guidance of the child is my responsibility? Or for example, if my parent is unwell and because of that, there is, let's say, restlessness or thinking that is not positive, how much is it my responsibility and how much can I help or should I help? Thank you.
Okay, so in this kind of case also, if you have a lot of pressure, not really very good also, right? So if you can calm down, it will be much better to help people. So another thing is that to help people who have good mind in the very beginning. So you have to train your mind to have good in the very beginning, right? To calm down your mind. So in the sense of responsibility, we have many. Many means, what about as a parents? Have you ever studied parent duties in Singalawara Sutta?
No.
No, you have studied. Okay. I should summarize, right? The first one, you have a responsibility to prevent your children to do wrong. This is your responsibility, right? You must guide them to do good. Right? Another thing is you must educate them. That is your responsibility, right? Then you must have proper education to survive in the community. This is your responsibility. Another thing is you must hand over some heritage, some fortune for them. Right? You must arrange proper marriage for them. 5 responsibility of parents, according to Buddha teaching. Okay, this is the parent side, right? For children. So we have responsibility to take care of them. This is the one thing. Another thing is we must take their responsibility. For example, they have to do something in the office or something, then okay, you can go for them, you can work for them, that kind of cases, right? You must take their responsibility. This is the second thing you have to know. Then, sorry. I forgot
Question from the floor.
Okay, no, wait.
Okay.
I forgot
Sorry.
the message, right? Sorry. Okay. Another thing is like, okay, we can say, okay, you must be more obedient to your parents. That means, okay, one more thing. It doesn't mean you must say yes all the time. Right? As long as they say something proper to you, something beneficial to you, you must accept it. Don't argue with them. This is the responsibility of children, right? Okay. The last one is the more important. When they pass away, you must share marriage with them. This is the responsibility of children, right? Okay. Okay.
Please allow me to ask one question about the white line. So the white line, the Sayadaw teaches us that if we don't have the wrong intention, may not have a impact.
Yeah.
Yes. So we are trying to make the truth completely honest. So the white line will impact our meditation. That's the first question. The second question, the Totapanna is completely honest. We Totapanna stay in the white line. Thank you.
Okay. Actually, for white line, okay, we can say it's a breaking precepts, right? For lay person, it's not that serious. It can affect your meditation if you remember. So whatever akusala we remember, it will affect our meditation. This is the normal, right? We're gonna avoid this one. The for about Sotapanna. So Sotapanna will not have white line also, right? But they have they may tell the truth all the time, right? Okay. Okay.
Hello. Yeah. I just want to ask a quick question. How can you reconcile ambition with contentment? So in a lay person's life, a lot of us strive to in our careers or in our life to be a good parent or good wife, husband kind of thing, and as well as try to make a mark and try to help improve humanity, and progress. But at the same time, how do you balance that with being contented and having a good Dharma practice at the same time?
Okay.
Thank you.
So when we talk about contentment, actually there are many topics to explain in this case, right? Okay. We have in Pali we call apicha. Okay. We also have like a mahicha. Okay, sometimes contentment means we can do what we have to do what we can do. This is called contentment. Sometimes it's not our level. It's beyond our limits, right? If we have to work for it, then it's just suffering for us. This is also called mahicha. This is also no contentment, this one, right? So mostly when we talk about contentment, we just talk about properties. Property means, for example, food, clothes, residence, that kind of thing, right? Contentment with this one. This is called, mostly we just contentment with this kind of cases. Okay, if we talk about, okay, abhicca, okay, this way, we have to explain a few more things about wanting letter or what letter desire. Sometimes, like we may conceal our properties or something, that means our mistakes, our weakness, that we may reveal non-existent quality. Okay, for example, if we do something without morality, but we want people to know as a moral person, that kind of greed is prohibited. You have virtues, you just show your virtues. As long as you don't expect gain or fame, it's okay, no problem. So that means do your own duty. Don't expect too much from other people. So we are not sure other people can help us or not, but we can help ourselves. So this is one thing, right? Okay. Another thing is we can also say like a seclusion. We don't delight in seclusion, but we want people to know we delight in seclusion. This is also called wrong desire. If we expect that kind of things, it will be harmful. So that's also called, if we don't expect that kind of things, this is called contentment. Okay, another thing is learning knowledge. So for example, okay, I have not much knowledge about human resources, for example. I have very limited knowledge about human resources, right? Similarly, I'm in very limited knowledge about financial management. But if I pretend I know anything about human resources or financial management, I want people to know I have that kind of ability, that kind of quality, right? Then we won't have that kind of wish, this improper desire. Then we break our contentment. Okay? So another thing is effort. Actually, we are lazy, but we want people to know we are energetic or we are strong person or that kind of things. This improper desire, if we do it, that is also breaking contentment. That means we lack of contentment. Okay, similarly, we have samadhi, concentration, panya. Also, we have like a we overcome destroying defilements. Okay, if we say briefly, if we wish people to know us with unknowing quality, that means lack of contentment. As long as we trying to show our ability, not all the time also, right? Timely. Sometimes if we show unnecessary also, this is very bad. Okay, this is it. No, that means you are not destroying your contentment. Okay, so that means if we summarize, you can do your own duties, your own part, but don't expect from many other people. This is called contentment. Okay? Another thing? Okay, when we do recollection of Buddha's quality or Dhamma's quality, this is not attachment, right? You're gonna enjoy anything also, right? So, okay, briefly, then as long as you are recollecting the right intention or good intention, we're gonna say attachment. We're gonna say wrong thing also, right? Okay.
Bante, I actually two questions. One is regarding, okay, we now know a lot about karma, and looks like Buddhajanas willing we have to live with this karma until we attain Arahant. So this karma actually is our defilement.
Sure. We're gonna say defilement.
Or how because akusala and defilement are related.
Sure, related, sure.
So defilement is more gross, you can understand, but akusala is technical.
Kusala, is it?
Akusala.
Sure.
So sometimes we can just write off. We just have to eradicate. I think that's all our defilements, and they only will reach when we reach Arantas. So for Arantas, they are functional mind. How does a functional mind? Actually, they also got intention. They have intention, desire. So their intention is different, or there's no karmic potency, right? Can I say that?
Sure.
How do we laymen understand by functional mind? I'm sure I take it too far, but I think at the end of the day that's our goal.
Okay. So then sometimes when you are in your dream, have you ever talked to somebody? In the dream?
Yes, because we are in the dream.
Okay, in the dream, right? In the dream you may talk to something, right? Yeah. It's neither akusala nor agusala. It's a dream. You just talk to somebody.
Okay,
right?
because we are not conscious.
Sure. Okay. Right. Similarly, but they are conscious. They don't have any intention to harm anybody. Right? They may help people, but it cannot produce any good result or bad result anymore, because they are already destroying all the defilements. That's why it cannot produce any new karma or new life. That's what we call functional kiriya. Right?
So back to the final question is that the only way to eliminate or eradicate is to practice vipassana and the path of purification, that what I learned from you. So is this the only way to eliminate?
So, we have a few conditions, right? To subside, or to eliminate, or to eradicate, two different things, right? To subside, we have many different methods. To subside defilement, we have many different methods, right? Sometimes when our mind change, we can subside also. And we change the object, we can subside also. It depends on the condition we have. Which one is easier for you? You can choose any method. For example, anger, very common to everybody, right? So we live in a community. Sure, nobody can please us all the time. We may have anger. So, when we have anger, there are many solutions. Changing objects, or changing the mind, or maybe it's, we will do some bodily action. Right? For example, when you get angry, you just run on the street. Your body becomes very tired. You forget about your anger. This is the possible, right? The body action is stronger. When you become tired, sure, no more anger. This is the possible, right? This is one way. The easier way for everybody. Another one is chanting something, saying something. For example, in the room, you lock all the door. Nobody can hear, right? You send the sound very loudly, for example. Or maybe you scold somebody very loudly, also possible, right? Then your anger finish. This is also possible, right? It's also not that good, but it's also possible to subside your anger. Okay. Another thing, you don't shout or you don't scold anybody. Okay, you just chant some prayer very loudly, also possible. You can subside anger. You have to shout very loudly, right? You forgot your anger, possible. This is power actions. Another thing is mentally, you change another topic. You just see yourself another angle. Mostly I remind people, right? So if you are angry, if you are suffering, your enemies will be very happy. Right? So this is the one way to subside your anger. Or if I'm suffering, my enemy will be very happy. You can subside your anger. So there are many ways to subside defilement. This I just say anger, right? Similarly, lobha, we have many ways to overcome lobha. Similarly, doubt, we have many ways to overcome doubt. Mana, there are many ways to overcome mana. We have many solutions, right? So, in daily life, we have to find solution to subside quickly. Well, of course, if we can eradicate, it's the best, but not that easy and simple to eradicate, right? To attain path, unfortunately, it will take a very long time. So, trying for daily life first. It's okay, right?
Just came to my mind this question. Between the mental, verbal, and physical action, is there any intensity by three ways of doing it? I mean, the mental is more stronger, or by relative power?
Okay, it depends on the personality. There are different conditions. For example, if there is some magician, they have magical power, right? Whenever their mind inclined, something happens. For them, your mind power is stronger than body action. They don't need to kill by body. They just go and kill by mind. Possible, right? That kind of things. So, for this kind of person, we can say mind power is stronger, more serious, more intensity, right? The another is there are some people, they are like a high-ranking people, like officer or something, like the king, for example, at the Asian time, right? Whenever their mouth says, the people must follow. Other than their mouth is more serious, right? So for ordinary people, body energy, we have to use body energy, right? Body is stronger mostly. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Bante. I'd like to ask a question about false speech.
False speech.
and more specifically is about idle chatter.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw that the idle chatter is part of false speech. So it means that if you idly chat, it's considered false speech, and there's like workings of karma. So I want to know if does this mean that we can't like idly chat or like just chat without meaning with anyone anymore? And if we do, would that gain like a lot of bad karma? And because sometimes it's necessary to chat with like your co-workers or your peers to build relationships and for them to understand you so that you will not be ostracized in a sense.
Okay. So we can say like a samapalami, useless talk. It will be better, right? Useless talk. If there is something useful, for example, like greeting, right? If I say hi, this is not idle chatter, right? So sometimes we need some communication skill, social skill. In this kind of case, we have to use, we're going to say idle chatter. And sometimes we have to speak very long time unnecessary things if you can idle chatter. For example, you have to build confidence or trust in your community. You have to talk about something, introduce yourself to your community, right? In this kind of case, we cannot say idle chatter. This is necessary, right? So, okay, sometimes like we talk about many things we cannot solve. Global warming, for example, how we can do, right? Just talking, wasting time. Right? If we have solution, okay, we can say that one. In this kind of case, we cannot say idle chatter, right? Okay, if we say briefly, Musawara is telling untrue things, giving wrong information. It will be harmful for the listener. That's called Musawara, right? In the case of idle chatter, it may not be harmful for anybody, just wasting time. Right? That means not useful to the listener. This kind of thing can be considered as the idle chatter, right? Actually, there are many conditions. Later, I have to explain about all the karma also, a little bit more in detail, right?
Will it be significant bad karma for that?
Okay. One more thing, I already say like a Asivana Mahanda. If it becomes habit or repetition, then we can say this can be bad karma, right? So another than the define, I have already said the condition, what to? What kind of thing you are talking? Who is the listener? This is the one thing. Okay. If the listener is in a hurry, you are talking many useless things, for example, that means it's harmful for him. He had another second appointment, but you talk many unnecessary things to him, right? And to delay. In this kind of case, it's very harmful for him, right? The listener's condition. That's the first thing we have to understand. Second one is, I always say, the information you give. This is also one other thing, right? Another thing is effort. For me, you may have mind plan, mind mapping, right? I would say this to him, for example, plan. How long do you have to plan? Although you are going to talk, use that thing, you plan very well. In this kind of case, it's strong agusala. You make very strong effort. You put very strong mental energy to do it. Another thing is defilement. So sometimes we like a laugh or hate or something, right? Because of the defilement you do, some speaking, it's been how strong it is. Okay, another one is asivana. How repeatedly do it? You do it. According to all these conditions, it becomes stronger agusala, weaker agusala. Right? Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
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 Morning, Sayadaw. My question is related to dementia. There are more and more people, the older folks especially, getting dementia, and some, they are quite young, like 40 plus. My question is, what kind of karma is related to dementia? And some of them can be quite aggressive. For example, they may hit people or even kill someone. So when they do that in that kind of mental state, is that considered akusala? And assuming if we take good care of ourselves mentally and physically, and we still get dementia, for example, how can we do or not do to prevent getting dementia?
Dementia means? Lost memory. Huh? Lost mind. Embody we may call like a Kida Chita, right? But with another maybe. According to Vinaya, right? According to Vinaya, we call embody with another. Too serious sickness or some mental disorder and that kind of case, right? We cannot say it's a mistake or we cannot say it's an offense. This is okay. For all the Kamma, sure, this is the Kamma, right? Mostly Sudha Media Kamma maybe, right? Not many people to Sudha Media. But almost all the mental problems come from Sudha Media. If we say according to Kamma, right? Come from Sudha Media. So that means for training, it's possible, right? Training also possible, right? If we train, it's possible. That possible means so I'm not familiar that kind of case also, right? Right? Training me as far as I know, right? Some of my students, they have that kind of problem. They are very sensitive, right? Some they can get angry very easily. Or that nothing happens. It happens like this, right? So in the very beginning, I just recommend them to do metta to themselves. To do metta to themselves, right? So if they can do metta to themselves, it will be a little bit better because they have more kindness to themselves. Actually, if we love ourselves, we also love other people. If we don't love ourselves, we don't love other people also, right? But one more thing, the little bit problem is that if we love ourselves too much, also we will dislike other people. We must balance this too, right? It will be possible. So according to Vinaya, this is okay, not that serious. Okay.
Sadhu. Sayadaw, we are now about 5 minutes to 11.
Okay.
Then there are about 11 questions more in the chat group. Would Sayadaw want to continue with the Q&A or
okay,
we will
lunch,
do it the
what
next?
time will be lunch?
Lunch 11:30, but we
11:30.
will prepare at 11.
Like this. Okay, so you don't have time, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we should stop here, right?
Okay. We should stop here. So we'll continue the Q&A the next time.
Okay.
Okay. Sadhu, Sayadaw. Thank you very much for your valuable teachings today. And thank you all our interpreter Bante for the translation. May we now invite Sayadaw to lead us in making aspiration and sharing of merits.
Okay.
Brother, please share the, yeah. Maybe we want to make it bigger.
Okay, so no?
Yeah.
Etawadaja amehi Sambadam Bunya Sambadam Sabbe Deva Numodandu Sabbe Buddha Numodandu Sabbe Satta Numodandu
Sabbe Sata Anumodantu.
Sabba Sambati Siriya
Sabba Sambati Siriya.
Idame Nyatinam Hotu
Idame Nyatinam Hotu.
Sukhita Hontu Nyatayo
Sukhita Hontu Nyatayo.
Idame Nyatinam Hotu
Idame Nyatinam Hotu.
Sukhita Hontu Nyatayo
Sukhita Hontu Nyatayo.
Idame Nyatinam Hotu
Idame Nyatinam Hotu.
Sukhita Hontu Nyatayo
Sukhita Hontu Nyatayo.
Idame Punyam
Idame Punyam.
Asawakaya
Asawakaya.
Waham Hotu
Waham Hotu.
Idame Punyam
Idame Punyam.
Nibbanasa
Nibbanasa.
Bajayo
Pachayo.
Hotu
Hotu.
Mama Punya Bhagam
Mama Punya Bhagam.
Sabba Satanam
Sabba Satanam.
Bhajemi
Bhajemi.
Te Sabbe
Te Sabbe.
Me Samam
Me Samam.
Punya Bhagam
Punya Bhagam.
Labantu
Labantu.
Sadhu
Sadhu.